Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Delusional's Arcade. So mistakes can be made, and you know, I didn't really make a mistake. Like, it's fine the way it is. It's a beautiful monitor. As you know, I recapped the Matsushita monitor. As you see, if you want to click up here, you can look at the last video. But a buddy of mine, Mike, he actually looked at the video and he messaged me. He said, hey man, he's like, that B+ cap, you really should redo that so that the island, the positive and negative, don't have any chance over years grounding each other out. So I said, you know what, you are completely right. And it was bothering me that I hadn't really adjusted the B+ 100% with the brightness all the way since I put the knob backwards. So we're gonna correct that in this video. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so we're here, and this is the B+ cap right here. I'm actually gonna discharge it. I mean, we discharged the chassis 2 or 3 times, but just in case, you know, sometimes they hold a charge still. So what we wanna do is, this is it right here. You can see where I bridged everything. And what I'm gonna do is just, I have this connected to the chassis on the metal part. Let me just double check that. Yep, it's on the chassis. And I'm gonna touch, I can't remember, I think this one here is positive and that's negative. So let's touch it. Yep, and it's completely discharged. If you don't have this wire here, you could actually just do this. It should do it as well. As long as you have a rubber handle, so it's fine. So anyway, that's discharged. I'm gonna go ahead and heat up my stuff here. Let me turn this on. There we go. I have my stuff heating up. And what Mike was saying is, he's a friend of mine actually, he actually sent me a note and he said this right here, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. But basically, see, this is it right here. Okay, so this right here, this here, if you look at this, this is an island, and that island, it's really hard to see with the angle. There we go, now you can see it. See how this is like an island right here? So that whole island is all ground. Like if I were to scrape this away right here, you would actually have exposed trace, you know. So I took the positive, which is right here, and you can see I jumpered over into the island. So that's actually not ideal, because if this wears away over time, it could actually create a short and then kind of blow the biggest cap on here, and it could really destroy everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna desolder this right here, take this whole thing out, and I'm gonna move the whole capacitor over so that the positive is here and the negative is there. And then all I have to do is jumper it from here to here, which is on the same plane, and it's separate and it's good to go. So yeah, so that's really important that you do that. So let's go ahead and do that. This is all nice and discharged, and you know, we did some good work here, but again, you know, I don't want it touching. That's kind of not good. And I'm surprised, you know, no one else noticed it, just Mike looked at it and it was like, hey. And you know, it kind of crossed my mind as I was doing it. I said, you know, I would rather have the ground jumpered versus the positive, but I just did it anyway, and I don't know, I just wasn't thinking. So let's see, this should be good now. Let's go ahead and I'll take this one out first. Let's see if I heat it up here. Grab it on the side here too. All right, and I should be able to bend it. Let me grab this here. Should be able to take it out. I really want to lift it up, so I'm going to kind of get underneath here. And there we go. So I'm bending it up. I'm using that because it's just nice and thin. It's easier to do. All right, so I'm going to take my pliers here, and then I'm going to just grab some around here. There we go. All right, so that's the thing. I could probably reuse this. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, but in the meantime, let's get all this stuff out here. All right, and I'll take this one out here too. And then we'll take this one out, of course. Hopefully it won't do too much damage by taking that out. I'm going to actually reach underneath here. And what I'm going to do, I'll zoom out a little bit because I feel like I'm in a little too close. I'm going to grab this underneath, and I'll just gently coax it out here. There we go. That came right out. Just clean that up. Okay, so it was actually in like this. So the negative was on this portion here, and the positive was there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this up too. There's a lot of solder on here. So there we go. I really did fill it up pretty good there. All right, that's good enough. It looks nice and clean. So now I'm going to do the opposite. So instead of having that over there, I'm going to fill that in with nothing. I'm going to move that over so that this leg is there, and then kind of bridge it together with this right here. I'm just going to heat it up, poke it through a little bit. All right. All right, so I don't know if you could see that, but I'm actually holding it. This is it right here. I'm holding it in there. This is not gonna have anything to stick to right now because I'm gonna bend it over. But this one over here is where I'm gonna tack it on right now. So go ahead and stick that in there so it stays. All right, I'll get that later and reflow that. And then this one, I'm just gonna kind of twist down with this thing. See if I can do it with my hand. Yeah, so I'm just gonna twist that down. And I guess I could, if I really wanted to, I can either leave it flat like that, which I'm gonna do, or you can just kind of twist it again and then put it back in the hole, but the cap is kind of in there. And I don't want to push it out by mistake, so I'm just going to push this down, kind of bend it like this, like I did before. And then this is touching ground, so that's fine. So it's, you know, if this were to wear away, that's still part of ground. So that's why it's better doing it that way. And then while I'm at it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up a little bit and cut this. So I'm going to just get it underneath here, and I'm going to cut this like right there. Hopefully I can catch it. Yep, I have it right there. Little piece. Now I'm going to move it down. And that's great. So if you want to zoom in, I'll show you. That's how it's coming out. So I just bent it down. I'm going to solder that in there. And then once that's in there and it's in there solid, I'm going to go ahead and reflow that one right there. And this, I'm going to just put gobs of solder on here to kind of fill in that hole. And I want it to go all the way around and into that capacitor and kind of flow down into it. And then I'm going to put some more on the side here. Now that that's all done. And that looks pretty good. Just a tiny bit more here. And again, there's no pad here. We're actually just soldering it to the capacitor itself. All right, that looks good. Just for giggles, I'm going to go here and let that cool and then go right in here and just to make that a little more contact a little better. That looks perfect. And now I can go ahead and reflow this one and put a little more solder on there. That's the one I tacked in earlier. And that's it. Good to go. So basically I just reversed it. Again, you know, I'm going to use my little pointer here, but basically this, I'm trying to show you the, It's hard to really see unless you get like a little reflection going. There it is, that's a little better. So this right here is the island that I'm talking about that it's on. So you have all this and that, and before what I was doing is I crossed over this, and if it, God forbid, it shorted on this positive onto the negative, if it got scraped away or something, it would have totally blown up. So this is negative, it's going to negative. If any of this touches or it wears away or anything like that, this is all the same plane and it's fine. It's separate from this one over here. So positive and negative, and we're good to go. So that's the proper way to install a B+ cap that's smaller on this Matsushita monitor. So yeah. Okay, so I have everything hooked up. I have my thing set to DC voltage. This is my multimeter. I have the positive lead right here on the test point. You can see it right there. And also the negative is over here on the other, you know, on the negative on the chassis there for ground. And then the reason I hooked that up, I have ones that kind of grab. So if you were to look at this, they kind of just come out like that and then come in. So you can actually, if you don't have this here, you could just get alligator clips, clip them on, and then clip the alligator clips to the actual leads on the multimeter. It's just safer. You don't want to be holding it and adjusting it at the same time. And then this over here is the brightness, and you're going to turn it counterclockwise, that's to the left, in order to turn it up. So you got to turn it up all the way. Once it's all the way up, you're going to adjust this so it says, I believe it's 123 volts DC. And then once it's there, you're going to normalize this back to normal. So right now, this is actually tilted a little bit to the left. I can see right there. So that's where I'm going to try to put it back exactly like I found it. So let me go ahead and plug this in. I have it on my test bench here. So everything is good to go. I got neck glow, and you can see I'm at 122.8. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the voltage. Not the voltage, I'm sorry, the brightness here. And I'm going to turn it all the way up. Let's give it maximum power, and you can see it's actually getting, I know left is all the way, it's actually going down. I had assumed it would go up, but I know for a fact that brightness to get brighter is to the left. And now I'm just going to mess with this and make it, turn it up, 123, a little bit more. Wow. I'm just double checking here that I'm doing it right. And I see stuff smoking, so that's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. I know you got to do it fairly quickly because it cooks stuff. So I'm going to put it right to there. I know that's set. So I'm good. I'm satisfied with it being there. Right now it's really high voltage. I'm going to turn it down again. So I wonder if we had done it right to begin with. It's supposed to be at 123. So I'm going to set it to 123 right there. And again, you're supposed to turn it up and do it. But I don't trust it. Because I did smell things just getting overheated here. Nothing burned, nothing cooked. But I did smell a little bit, and do not want to do that again. So I'm going to set this exactly what it was set to. I believe that's where I had it for the brightness. And again, I'm just going to turn this up a tiny hair just to be at 123. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to turn it up all the way. The instructions say to do that, but I'm not going to chance it. So I'm happy with it right there. That's 123 volts where it's supposed to be at. I have it set to the brightness that I want it to be set at. And we're good to go with that. So I wonder, I wonder if I did it right the first time, to be honest. where, you know, you turned it all the way to the right like this, because when I turn it to the right, it doesn't really affect anything. But if I turn it to the left, oops, this thing is not the best. If I turn it to the left, you can see the voltage is affected here. If I turn it up a little more, you see that? It's actually going down. Yeah, I'm going to set it to the brightness that I want it set to, which is right there. And again, here, let me just turn it up a little bit. Right. I believe it was right there. And then I'm going to lower this a little bit. So I do not want to cook my chassis. So I'm not really sure if that's correct in the manual. So if I were to say what to do with this, I'm no expert here. 22.9. 123. I'm no expert here, but I'm thinking what you should really do is set it to the middle here. So don't turn it all the way to the left. It'll cook it a little bit. Put it right in the center, and then adjust your B+ voltage, and then adjust it out as you want it. Because I think what they're trying to say is that as you turn it up, you know, it increases the voltage. And as you turn it down, it decreases it, and you're going to have to turn this up, and you really don't want to cook it by turning it all the way up. So yeah, so man, I'm looking at it here. This B+ pot melted a little bit. You can see some pieces coming off here. And that's unfortunate, yeah. So I'm going to leave it alone. It was working beautifully before. I really just wanted to change that B+ pot. But again, you know, I would not suggest, you know, my friend of mine told me too, it happened to him, and he ended up busting, I think, this resistor there or something. So try not to turn it up all the way like it says in the manual. Set it to the middle, adjust it out, and I think that's good to go right there because, you know, everything's set. You want it to be running at 123 volts while it's operational. So that, to me, I'm very satisfied with that. To the setting that I want, I turned it a tiny bit up from the middle, and it's good to go. But I do not want to mess this monitor up, and I'm not going to chance it, and I don't think you guys should either. All right, so let's stick it back in the machine. I'm really glad I did it here on the bench. I did it on the bench just to give you a better angle and to see exactly what I'm doing. It was going to be a little hard to hold everything if I put it in the machine and, God forbid, something went wrong, like it almost did now. I don't want to have to pull the whole thing out and take all the bolts out and all that stuff after putting it in. So I figured I'd do it right here on the bench for you guys to see. So let me go ahead, I'll pop this in, we'll turn the game on, we'll make sure it's working, and we can kind of shut this video down and end it. Okay, so we're back, and I put the whole monitor in. I, you know, put all the bolts back, all the control panel stuff back on, and it looks like it's great. It's working pretty awesomely. It looks really, really sharp and bright. So I think the whites are off a tiny bit. I might mess with that later. It looks like there's like a little too much red. But, you know, other than that, I mean, things look pretty good on this thing, and I'm not complaining at all. So I'm going to play a quick game just to see where it's at. And let's see how we do. Yeah, definitely a little on the red side, because those guys are supposed to be green, not like light green. So I can just tell. So I'll have to mess with that. Whoa, I almost died there. I'm gonna go slow-mo. need that. There we go. Nice. Tough. Wonder if I turn down the voltage slightly, that'll correct the problem with the color. I need that. There we go. I need that. There we go. Wow, that was close. Whoa. Man, it's being a little tough on me right now. That. Yes. Can't believe I'm surviving this long, actually. Wow. 2 more guys left. Whoa, that was lucky. Come on, almost got it, almost got it. Oh, I was trying to finish it up. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, I finished it. Nice. Oh, I just realized. Oh, man. I'm playing on God mode. The only thing that can kill me is this guy. But I was doing pretty good. I was wondering why my game was so long there. Alright, let me just kill myself here. I don't want to mess up my high scores here. Oh, I forgot I can't die by that. Hang on. Alright. Cool. I believe demo mode does not let you put the high score in anyway, so I was worrying for no reason. But that's it, guys. I guess if you guys like the things that I do, just feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you just subscribed, welcome to the channel. I have a lot of good things in store. It's a really fun channel to be a part of. I always answer questions in the comments, of course. I'm also on Instagram if you want to look at me, what I post on there, and Twitter as well. I post stuff that I'm working on, just to kind of give people an idea what the next episode is going to be. So, I really enjoy doing this. I do it in my spare time, and it's lots of fun. So, thanks again for watching, everybody. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Take care.